Hey, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, June 29th, 2017. Up a little early this morning. I didn't get any workouts in, but I left the house early because I do have a pretty busy agenda today. Today I kind of have to throw together, basically what happens is, in the training industry, in which I am a part of, is primarily trainings that are given around in corporate America and passed around from department to department and trainers to trainers. They give you these PowerPoints and these trainings, and it's all drawn out for you. I don't like that. That's not how I deal with things. That's not how I do it. What I do is I take those trainings and I indigenize them. I turn it into something that fits what my program is and fits what I believe individuals in my program need. It's basically taking everyday 8 to 5, 9 to 5 corporate America and turning it into something a little more Native American, and that's why I use the term indigenized. So basically, soft skills in a normal world and outside world is something else, but at the tribe it's a little different. And soft skills are something that must be expanded on certain areas and cut back on certain areas. And so what I basically do is I take these trainings, I do my own research, I keep what is good and what I can use, and I adjust it accordingly. So I've done the biggest one that I've done, actually developed the entire curriculum myself, is the one for emotional intelligence, and that was fun. I had a good time doing that, and that's the one that when I do present that training, that one's the most fun. It's because the entire project itself the whole entire presentation itself is something I did. I created it, so I know it inside and out. And the difference with all these other trainings, it's like you can't be passionate about something that someone else hands to you. You can't be passionate about certain things that people, this is what you should teach. That's why I think that a lot of teachers in the education system it'd be a lot more interesting if teachers were able to not necessarily use their political agenda, but to use their creativity and their passion to create their own curriculum, and which gets these kids invigorated for learning experience. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the greatest teacher, because I'm not, but I do believe that comparing, the trainings that I provide to other people, I'm the realist. And I'm not the realist, but I believe that I'm very real. I believe that I'm funny, and I don't make a lot of jokes on YouTube because I want to use this as more of a different kind of a platform. Snapchat is the platform I use for a lot of my jokes and funny stuff. But for YouTube, since it is so permanent and it stays around forever, I'm using this primarily just to sort of engage and motivate in certain ways. So the trainings that I basically have to go in and put together, or finish putting together a training today that I have for 8 individuals by 9 o'clock. And so, and in that time, I also I got to print additional documents. It takes a lot of practice, but this is what is good about the situation, I believe. Now, it's a time rush thing. It's a negative thing in some ways, but this is where I'm kind of drawing the positive. This is like what my man, Jocko Willink, Navy SEAL, has his own podcast, motivational kind of guy. This is kind of what he talks about. He has a thing called good. Something's bad, good. What are you learning from it? What are you getting out of it? There's a reason why it didn't happen. A lot of people like to point fingers. I deal with that on a daily basis. People just are not accountable for their actions. I'm accountable for my actions. I put myself into this position. I was overstretched this week, and that's my own fault, and I'm now having to bite the bullet and get this done quickly for a reason, and I'm not blaming anyone but myself. And the good that I can see to get out of this is the creation of a shorter, more precise, straight to the facts, less beating around the bush presentation and training for these guys And the best part about it is it's a test group. It's the first one I've done. I haven't done this training yet before. It's all about, this one's more of expansion on some soft skills. It's telephone and email etiquette. Exciting, right? Really fun stuff. And the thing is, I have to keep in mind that I've been using emails and I've been, on the phone, customer service type stuff my, a great majority of the time of my career. So I've been dealing with this stuff, my entire life, at least while I'm working. And it's like a lot of these kids and these people in the program, they've never really dealt with emails. Their emails that they get are, they can open them and maybe read what's inside of the email, but a lot of them don't know how to engage with email. A lot of them don't know the specific buttons, the carbon copies, the block carbon copies, adding attachments, how to create a signature, how to send a read receipt, how to follow up with emails, the time that needs to pass in order to, check emails with your team, check emails with other people in the department or the tribe, and then ultimately responding to emails from outside vendors. So there's differences in those. They need to know what those are, because the thing is, if you screw up or you violate a policy in the realm of this, if you violate something because you did something in an email that you really weren't supposed to, or you disclosed information you weren't supposed to, or you shared something that someone maybe absent-mindedly forwarded or replied all to someone, and your information gets passed down, it's permanent. It's there. It's they can print it up and then charge you with it or accuse you of doing something. Now you can't edit emails. When you do that, you can kind of delete things, and it says like the pencil was red. You can type in the pencil was actually was great, or something like that. You can't edit emails after you hit forward and things like that. But realistically, you need to be honestly careful about what you write and what you don't. So I'm doing this training, and the thing about it is I put a lot of thought into these trainings and developing of curriculum, and complete, just to be honest, man, it's a lot easier than I'm thinking it is, or at least I originally thought. I originally thought it had to be a curriculum with follow-up stages, follow-up trainings, these workbooks and everything like that. But realistically, it's simple. You just need to get these guys to do one or two things differently, to understand what it is, and to kind of have it sink in and set in, and have them understand the importance of it. And that's just about it. As long as you can affect some sort of behavioral change in which improves them as an employee, that's all I have to really do. And originally when I started putting these curriculums together, it was a lot different, and I just went in there with believing I should be doing a lot more. But realistically, you just got to keep it simple. KISS, K-I-S, keep it simple. And so that's what I did, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to basically keep it simple, give these guys some activities and things to do, and make it fun, and not make it necessarily a boring 3-hour presentation, which I know a lot of trainers do. They just roll these trainings out, get them out of the way, and they're not that interesting. I like to engage. I like to make it funny. I like to crack jokes. Basically, I wouldn't personally want to be through a training that was not interesting to me. And so I have to change it to make that training fit for my audience, is what ultimately the goal is. You're supposed to make the trainings interesting and funny and engaging, and not just facts, every single slide, facts. It needs to be a little bit more than that, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm still pushing forward with the 750 push-ups. I still have to fit that in. Now, the interesting thing is I became pot committed yesterday for the Enchantments through hike, which depending on how your side trips that you do along the way, basically it's a trail. You get 2 points, and it's a trail that goes up and it comes down the other side, and so you need to have a car at each one of the trailheads. Snow Lake, and then up at they call it Stewart Lake, Kolchuk Lake trailhead, and it's an 18-mile just straight line if you were to draw a line, but people like to deviate off the trail a little bit and do side trips, take photos and things like that, and visit all the other lakes. And so it can get up to about 22 miles. Now, I've done this the last couple of years. On average, it's about around 12 hours. My goal is to finish well under 12. I have been battling a left ankle injury. I don't know really what it is. It's I look at it and it looks a little swollen maybe, so I don't know if it's God forbid arthritis. I mean, I'm 36 years old. I am an athlete. I train a lot every single day. It could be my body telling me that, hey, you're getting old. It could be that, but I'm optimistic. I'm believing it's not. Even if it is, I'm going to find a way to work around it. So I couldn't really commit to this trip. So I had a lot of people that were going that were, this is the biggest group we had going out. It is quite a challenge, especially Asgard Pass. If any of you paid attention to the news, Asgard Pass was into the news recently because if you ever heard of glissading is going down a snowy hill, essentially on your backside. A lot of people who glissade down, and I've done this on Mount St. Helens, when you climb up at an early part of the season, there's still snow left on it, and to decrease the time it takes for you to get to the top, from the top to the bottom, and to basically save a lot of the wear and tear on your knees, because if anyone tells you getting to the top's the easy part, getting back down is the hard part. Anyone that's done Mailbox Peak around here in Washington, or even Mount Eleanor in the Olympic Mountains, getting down to the bottom is where you really put a lot of wear and tear on your knees. And so, Mount St. Helens is another one too. So getting down to the bottom in the least amount of time and the least amount of pain is ideal. And so glissading is going down your backside using an ice axe as a brake. The problem is that you going down as fast as you are susceptible to, if you're down a chute of ice, you go down, you can clip your spikes or your shoes on a piece of ice sticking out, or a piece of snow that's sticking out. You can break an ankle, and you're still going forward. You're not stopping. You're gonna break something and keep going. And you could also become susceptible to, depending if it's warm out, you could break through the ice, you could break through the snow, and there's something under, post holing. There's something underneath the surface. You fall down there, and unfortunately, this kid did. And this was 3 weeks ago, and they now just pulled his body out, and it's been 3 weeks. And so it's just because I believe a lot of the snow has melted in the past, I don't know, I think in the last 3 weeks. It's been pretty hot in eastern Washington, so that's why I believe that they finally, oh hey, there he is, I found him. So yeah, being caught in the backwoods, being unable to complete something because of an ankle injury is really rough. It's tough, and it's something I didn't want to expose my team to, so I kind of held back a little bit. But yesterday I became pot committed. I got all the necessary things that I lacked last year, and so I hope to finish better this year. I moved on from Vasque hiking boots, VASQUE. They are good hiking boots, and they're comfortable, but for someone with my I guess flat feet and the way that I need a lot of padding and a lot of cushion underneath my feet. I have become very what can I say, not spiritual, but religious towards Hoka 1-1s, and primarily I did invest in a new pair of hiking boots this past year. I have the Hoka Tours, which are the hiking boots from, I think, 2 years ago. It may have been last year's brand. They have another upgraded version of it, but these ones were great. I tried them on. They're light. They're they're soft and cushiony, and that was primarily the problem with the enchantments. The last part of it, when you're coming down into the snow lakes, there's a lot of rocks and jagged edges, and by the time you get down to that point, you're tired. You've been on the trail for like 8, 9, 10 hours, and you're just tired, and you're susceptible to ankle rolls, especially depending on how much you're carrying in your pack. I do remember the last couple of years has been really tough, and especially that last part. And I didn't plan last year. I had a mental slip, and I didn't really accommodate for electrolyte loss, and I became extremely dehydrated and lightheaded, and I came the closest I've ever had to being able to not finish, and it was brutal, and I had blisters on my feet. So this year I'm planning a little bit better, actually a lot better. Been training all year, getting myself into shape and a lot more running. And so this year I hope to finish under 12 hours. That's my goal. And I also hope to plan ahead with electrolyte replacement, plenty of fluids. I'm using Nuun, N-U-U-N, and I'm also using GOO, which is a sort of like a what's the word? BCAA, kind of a blockchain amino acid type. It prevents muscular breakdown and helps muscular. It just prevents muscular breakdown and deterioration, and helps replenish, protect the muscles essentially. So I've got those, and so my goal is to finish under 12 hours this year, and I think I could be able to do it. I just need to, my ankle, I can still feel a little something in there, but I hope that it's just something that's going to gradually get better. I don't want to have to do this trip and have something set me back to where I was back when I did the Sound and Arrows about 3 weeks ago, and my ankle was killing me. It was absolutely the most. I had a lot of pain. It was bad. But now it's like it's just a dull pain I feel once in a while. But I want to get under 12 hours. I want to finish it, and I want to do it again this year. I want to keep it as a tradition as long as I can do it, and I want to be able to run the last part of it. So that's why the Hokas are going to come in real big help. So anyway, I got that going. We're going out Sunday, coming back, or doing it on Monday and coming back Monday night. So I'm going to be beat pretty bad on Monday. So the challenge is, this is where a lot of the life things that you do in life and scheduling and importance are coming really big. This is where it presents a challenge for anything. So I'm doing the 750 push-ups a day challenge. And for that entire day, I'm going to be spending the majority of the time exposed under the elements in nature and not being able to get much sleep because we're going to bed. We're sleeping in Wenatchee and then leaving for the trailhead early, like around 3. And so the possibility of getting 750 push-ups done and not wear myself out is going to be a challenge. And so I might try to do some that morning around 2. But I do believe I'm going to have to break it up along the trail and then finish it when I get home, which is going to be very, very difficult because I remember how I felt the last couple of years. So we'll see. So anyway, have a great Thursday. I will talk to you guys on Friday, and looking forward to the 4th of July.